It's a pleasure to speak to you today about some of the changes that have occurred in the latest building code, National Building Code, the 2018 IBC. And so I hope you find this very beneficial and helpful today. So let's start off with a slide from a quote of a friend of ours, Charles Darwin. He said, "It is not the strongest or most intelligent who will survive, but those who can best manage change." And then a business author, he said it maybe a little bit more bluntly, change or die. And obviously there's changes that happen in the codes and the standards fairly consistently over the years based on new research, based on things that we've learned from past events such as hurricanes or earthquakes. And so I think we're all very familiar that change happens. And often that's good. That's an evolution in thought, theory, and efficiency and effectiveness oftentimes. But it also can mean more complexity, and that can be challenging, right? Indeed, it can also be challenging if the changes happen so much, it's hard to keep our offices updated with the latest, greatest information. So the agenda today, we're going to talk about the standards and references we should all have in our library when we're designing cold form steel. Then we'll talk about the building code references in the 2018 IBC for cold form steel, the changes that have occurred in what's called the specification. Some people call it the standard, but it's the specification, AISI S100. What's happened in the 2016 version versus the 2012 version. And then AISI S240, 15, and S415 / S116, which means Supplement 1, 2016. That's what's adopted by the 2018 IBC. So let's jump into the presentation. So what should we have in our library? Well, the two primary documents every engineer should have in the library if you're dealing with cold form steel design is AISI S100 and also the AISI framing standards. So the latest version of S100 is the 2016 version, and this is adopted by the 2018 IBC. Now it has similar design provisions as the previous version, S112, but it's reorganized. And pretty significantly. And if all of us remember, ACI 318.14 was a significant reorganization. But similarly, there wasn't a lot of substantive changes done as far as the design of cold form steel members. But there are some changes, and we'll talk about that today. Additionally, we'll talk about S116, S118. This is Supplement 1 in the 2018. It's not adopted by the 2018 IBC, but it contains the most up-to-date information that you should have in your library. And again, it contains the most up-to-date information. We'll talk about some of the things in that. And then the AISI standards, S215, the 2015 version, the AISI standards, S240.15. For structural framing, S400 with a supplement for seismic design of cold form steel structural systems. And this is referenced by the 2018 IBC and S116. Now the interesting thing here is that the S400 and S240, they actually reference S112, the previous version of the specification. Now one can use the 2016 version with 240 and S400, but the chapters will be, chapter references will be different. So just be cautious when you do that. Now these, the specification and the standards, they're available for free if you download it from the CFSCI website. So that's the Cold Form Steel Engineers Institute. The Cold Form Steel Design Manual from AISI, a very useful document to have in your library. D117 is the latest version. It's based on S116, and this is similar to the AISC Steel Construction Manual. It has tables, graphs, charts to help you more efficiently design cold form steel. And also it has design examples in there as well. There's a couple design guides that AISI has developed over the years, a couple that are very useful for your yourself in your library as you go through designs is the CFS Framing Design Guide and the AISI Shear Wall Design Guide. Now the AISI Shear Wall Design Guide, that used to be the CFSEI Shear Wall Design Guide, but it was updated for the 2018 IBC. Then, of course, if you want to get into a lot more detail about the cold form steel design provisions, there's the cold form steel design textbook in 4th edition, and also the Structural Engineers Association of California Structural Seismic Design Manual. The 2018 version of this design manual, which is a 5-volume set, is going to be available, I think, within the next few months or so. And if you're looking at wood light frame construction or cold form steel light frame construction, there's examples in volume 2 of that document that I think you'll find beneficial.